right, good evening. Good evening. My name is Andrew Kearns. I'm the principal of the middle school. It's my pleasure to welcome you to our Greyhound Gala Awards program here for the 2016. It's a lot of people that we need to thank. First, just a couple rounds of applause. First of all, for our students here who are playing that wonderful music under the direction of Ms. Hughes. Before we started. I also want to thank the members of the school climate committee. This stuff didn't just magically appear here. The balloons, the punch, the invitations, the certificates. My secretary, Mrs. Harrison, who's not here, but a round of applause for them as well for all of their work. And this is an evening where we get to celebrate the best part about being in education, and that is our students. And we have a number of students we'd like to celebrate tonight, and my remarks are going to be very brief. The students that were nominated and are here tonight just have a special presence, whether it's in a classroom, whether it's on an athletic team, a club. They've stood out to one of our educators, and we would like to acknowledge all the good things that they do here at Northern Burlington, and again, the positive energy they bring to our hallways, our classrooms, our playing fields, and the like. In terms of just some mechanics, let me explain this to the students. When we call your name, when you identify, you're going to come up these stairs over here. You will meet the teacher that nominated you. And after you're done, we're going out this side door. We're going to get your picture taken. And this is where those pictures come from that are posted up in our hallways. Just a couple apologies here. One of the I guess, employment risks of working in a school is you're exposed to lots of germs. And we have a number of teachers that are out today. Unfortunately, they weren't able to be here tonight to make their presentations. They wanted to be here tonight. So in a couple cases, we have a person standing in to make the presentation. And we're going to start with that. I'm actually going to stand in for Dr. Uzaki. Dr. Uzaki, in addition to being the assistant principal here, is also the athletic director. And there was a playoff game that he needed to attend tonight. So he's asked me to read his speech, and I will begin the evening with the first nominee. And this is Dr. Uzaki writing. At the beginning of the year, this student was a frequent flyer in the main office. As an assistant principal, I took some time to speak with him about making better decisions. Some kids interpret this as lecturing, but this student understood my messages loud and clear. He cared about making positive changes. As the winter sports season approached, I saw less of him in the main office and more of him on the wrestling mat. As the district athletic director, it was obvious that he was talented and that his family had invested a great deal of time embracing his athleticism. With the winter season over, this student maintained his momentum. We have yet to have a negative encounter in the main office. Ellery, this is my first Greyhound Gala, and you are my first nominee. I've been in this district for 13 years, longer than you've been alive, and I think that is special that you are my first selection. I not only want to see you through the end of this year, but through the next 4 years of high school as a model Northern Burlington Greyhound. You deserve to be publicly acknowledged for your ability to turn it around. If you think people have not noticed, it is not true. I did. For all the wrestling medals you have achieved, the top finishes, tournament victories, and future championships, I hope this award will always be remembered by you and ranks towards the top. It is an incredible achievement. You have earned my deepest respect. Congratulations, Ellery Perfect, from Dr. Jackson. All right, and now it is my pleasure to introduce Ms. Katrina Gierman to announce our next nominee. Ms. Gierman.
Whether it was staying after school for extra help, asking for extra practice pages, or just a quick question in my class, my nominee was always eager to do her best. Math might not have been the easiest of subjects for her, yet my nominee persevered and gave her best all semester long. Congratulations, Jessica Trozzi, on a job well done. It It is now my pleasure to introduce Mrs. Angel Allen to announce our next nominee.
Thomas Edison once said, "Our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is to always try just one more time." The student I have chosen tries very hard every day. The student never gives up, and she encourages others to keep going as well. She is always smiling, and she brings a very happy energy to the classroom. I have enjoyed watching her grow from a quiet, less confident math student to an excited, confident learner. It has been a pleasure to teach you, Crystal Bradford. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Ms. Nicole Avanzato to announce our next nominee.
Hello. I am announcing the nominees for two people, for myself and for Mr. Lazinski. Okay, so first I'll be Mr. Lazinski. Can you picture it? Smaller, louder, doesn't quite make as good meatballs as I do. But we'll leave that alone. All right, so I'm Mr. Lazinski. One of the most rewarding aspects of teaching is watching the academic growth of students from September to June. Not only is this student a valuable asset within the classroom to help further demonstrate understanding and appreciation of the subjects discussed, but he has been able to bring me laughter on numerous occasions as well. I cannot wait to read your first comedic novel when it is released. Mr. Lazinski's Greyhound Gala choice is Andrew Lee. Okay, now me again. I had a difficult time choosing a Greyhound Gala student this year because so many of our students on Team Achieve have been so wonderful. As I was narrowing down my decision, I kept going back to a student who never passes me in the hall without a smile and a hello, who never has an unkind word to say to another student, and who consistently asks insightful questions and provides enlightened feedback during class discussions. In addition, this student has consistently improved with his writing by taking my feedback and not only correcting and revising the piece we were working on, but applying it to other subsequent pieces as well. I look forward to what the future holds for Seth Stewart. Seth, you are a true gentleman. Always be brave, always be yourself. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Mrs. Kristen Henry to announce our next nominee.
Oh, wait. Sorry. She's next.
Thank you. I'll get to introduce Mrs. Scott. When I was young, I admired clever people. Now that I am old, I admire kind people. Abraham Joshua Heschel. I admire this student because this person is both clever and kind. At the beginning of the year, this student may not have been sure that I was someone she could trust or even like. This is a big school, and I've been told I have a big personality. As the year progressed, we discovered a mutual love of books and science. By January, we exchanged high fives and the latest discoveries on a daily basis. I've seen this student demonstrate compassion for other students that I didn't know an 8th grader could express, and it takes my breath away. My gala choice is wickedly smart, terrifically funny, a voracious reader, and tremendously kind. Thank you for being all these and so much more, Madison Metrick. And now it is my pleasure to introduce, for real, Mrs. Jennifer Scott, to announce our next nominee.
I would like to honor this young lady for the amount of effort she has shown throughout the year. She has a strong desire to do well and works hard to get the job done. She stays the course and never gives up. It has been my pleasure to work with this sweet young lady this year. I know her hard work and determination will take her far in life. Miss Tamaya Richardson, thank you for being an amazing student. Continue to soar high in the direction of your dreams. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Mrs. Janet Adams.
Good evening, everyone. I also have a split personality tonight. I am Mr. Justin Faust and Janet Adams. I would like to start with Justin's gala nominee. And Mr. Faust says, John Lennon once said, "There are no problems, only solutions." This student always strives for excellence in my classroom, no matter how hard a task may be. He is also a student who helps others in class when they are having difficulty on an activity or an assignment. I admire the effort he brings to class every day, as he is always making himself a better student and person. He is an all-around wonderful kid that has an amazing attitude every single day. My Greyhound Gala, Mr. Faust's Greyhound Gala award goes to Jake Marcus. And now for my gala student. I hope that everyone in this room at some time in your life has had someone that just makes you want to smile. I'm going to cry, sorry. Someone who is truly an unsung hero. I've watched a student consistently display random acts of kindness on a daily basis with no thought of reward. I can tell you that she has turned some of my toughest days right side up with just a few kind words or the sharing of something that she found special. Gratitude, humility, respectfulness, integrity, and compassion are just a few words that exemplify the student. She absolutely is the person who we all would want to have as our best friend. I am proud to announce my gala recipient, Andrea Sherwood. Sorry. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Miss Angelina Ashatino to announce our next nominee.
From the first day of school, my Gala nominee has demonstrated a desire and spark for knowledge that every teacher hopes to see. He has risen to every challenge that has been thrown his way with a positive and enthusiastic attitude that is thankfully contagious. I find his constant wonder and curiosity both refreshing and admirable. I would like my nominee to consider this award a token of my appreciation. It's students like Connor Curcio that make this profession even more rewarding and enjoyable than it already is. Come on up. And now, it is my pleasure to introduce Miss Melissa Bennett to announce our next nominee.
Good evening. As I can't turn the page. All right, my quote I'm going to start with tonight. Live like there's no tomorrow, sing as if no one can hear, dance as if no one is watching. The author is unknown. My nominee this evening exemplifies this quote in many ways. She embraces positively whatever challenges come her way, no matter how big they may be. While the quote says to sing as if no one is listening, my nominee should know that we can hear her and that we are listening. It also states to dance as if no one is watching. My nominee should know also that we are watching and she can dance. This young lady has blossomed these last 2 years and should be recognized for her hard work and persistence that has made her more successful in and out of school. It is my pleasure to introduce to you my nominee, Sarah Severi. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Mrs. Jennifer Cavalier to announce our next nominee.
Good evening. Struggling with this pink page here too. I have to admit that I've developed a special bond with a particular class period this year. No surprise to see a couple of you in the audience. But it's mostly because of this person. This person's smile and sense of humor have been a bright spot in my day. Her humble attitude, quiet sense of leadership, and positive interaction with others are just some of the qualities I most admire. I would describe this person as someone who just has it. This it factor may be difficult to put your finger on because it's not just one characteristic that stands out, but rather a special combination of qualities and characteristics. Call it magic, charisma, or an aura, or a strong character, magnetism, confidence, and compassion that make people trust, admire, and follow their lead. For me, it was evident from day one that this person has it, and I will always remember her. Vicki Ramirez has it, and I am honored to present her as my Greyhound Gala recipient. And it's now my pleasure to introduce Mrs. Victoria Cuneo to announce our next nominee.
The big concern is the font size. Okay.
So many adjectives swirled around in my head as I thought about this student that I decided to create an acrostic poem to describe her. R, she is always resourceful. She's driven to find the answers to her many questions. A, she is attentive in class and always remembers the details. C, she's conscientious. When something is not done to her own high standards, she does the work again. H, she's honest and helpful. E, she's energetic about school and in her descriptions of horses and her farm. L, she's level-headed and lovable. It's truly a pleasure to have in the classroom. I know I will not be the only 8th grade teacher to miss her when she crosses the parking lot to the high school. My nominee is really going places. Rachel Blasek.
I'm surprised, aren't you? Here you go. Oh.
And now it is my pleasure to introduce Ms. Casey Duke to announce our next nominee.
Thought this font would be bigger. Every once in a while, I am fortunate to meet a student who expands my viewpoints and broadens my horizons. The student I have chosen for this award is not just hardworking and diligent, but she has such a passion for learning and a desire to constantly improve herself and her work. Although at first glance she appears to be quiet and reserved, once she opens up, she is full of life and vibrant imagination. I am fortunate to have been her writing teacher and to have had the pleasure to read so many of her pieces. She never settled for a word when she knew there was a better one out there, nor was she simply satisfied with the first draft of her work. Not only did she push herself to improve, she also pushed me to challenge her intellectually. Her natural ability to make a piece of writing come alive exceeds most other writers her age. As John Lakes once said, "Be yourself. Above all, let who you are, what you believe, shine through every sentence you write, every piece you finish." It is with great pleasure and pride that I present this Gala Award to Ms. Jasleen Tour. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Ms. Karen Forte to announce our next nominee.
It is with great pleasure to present this award to this fine young man who has continued to grow both academically and socially throughout the year. Every day, this student comes to class with such enthusiasm and a wonderful attitude. He always asks me, "How is my day going? How's Inkadoo, my dog, lately, and how's the new car?" even though he doesn't like Fords. His high energy and readiness to learn and participate is a delight to witness each day. He has the ability to bring the whole class into discussion and can lift the spirits of those around him. I really have never seen him unhappy and can always guarantee all his work is completed at a high level. He always has insightful ideas about the math taking place. This great personality he possesses is amazing. Patrick Ivanko, it truly has been a pleasure having you as a student this year. Continue working hard, being inquisitive, and being you. Best of luck at the high school. Now it is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Robert Goldstein.
Good evening. My gala nominee walked into my classroom as a 7th grader and said absolutely nothing. Her work was great, she did extremely well, but still not a word. She would nod for yes and shake her head no. So I would ask, are you okay? Do you need any help? Our connection really started with an email last summer saying she wanted to help at the school store. My gala nominee started to work at the school store as an 8th grader. Every day she would walk in, she would tell me a story about her soccer game, what happened during the game, how many points she scored, or how this girl from the other team tripped her and made her extremely mad. At first, I was just amazed that she was talking. Then, as the year went on, I couldn't wait to hear another soccer story. The passion she shows as an athlete is amazing, and it is the same with her academics and activities. You are one of those students that just made my year. I don't think a day went by that I couldn't count on you for doing something for the school store, designing Northern gear, or even if I needed a favor. I can't even count how many times you stayed after school to help with the store or ran from room 217 to the store and back because I forgot something for our class. T, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. It will be extremely tough to fill your shoes next year. You are one of my aces, Taylor Barletta. Never lose the passion to do great things. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Mrs. Elaine Harlan to announce our next nominee.
Good evening. My Greyhound choice stands out as a positive influence in both American history and English language arts classes. Can you hear me? Is that better? Okay. He has always been a good student. However, this year, I've had the opportunity to watch him grow into an exceptional young man, taking responsibility for a job well done in all academic fields, as well as helping those around him. He works well with others, as well as individually. He is always ready, willing, and able to share whenever called upon in class. He is an earnest student, courteous, polite, and incredibly hardworking, as is evidenced by his grades. My compliments to his parents. Thank you for raising such a fine young man. It is an honor to introduce my Greyhound choice, Pablo Luna.
Thank you.
And now it is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Jason Hoy to announce our next nominee.
My favorite part of this event is that we get to honor students' qualities and characteristics that may not always appear in Power School. While my nominee is well represented on the hundreds wall in the back of my classroom, it is her selfless attitude and consideration of others that truly sets her apart. My nominee not only offers to assist other students in class, but has gone as far as to covertly point out other students that have the right answer and may be in need of some positive feedback. She understands that a school is a community of individuals and does everything she can to make this community a great place to learn and grow. It is my privilege to select Daphne Swavely as my Greyhound Gala nominee. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Ms. Jennifer Huckleberry to announce our next nominee.
Good evening. I first have to say that it's been too much fun trying to throw off this student for the past 2 weeks because she came bouncing into my classroom saying, "Oh my goodness, I got picked for Greyhound Gala." And I said, "What's that?" I don't know if she believes me or not. Being a theater teacher, you're never sure what type of students to expect. Some are your typical star performers, and then some are students who had no other choice but to take theater. But every once in a while, you get that student who's not only talented at acting, but hardworking, dives into new opportunities, and is always reliable. This is any director or theater teacher's true star performer. I feel fortunate to have had a student like this in my middle school class. Reagan, thank you so much for all of your hard work. I'm really looking forward to having you in all of my high school theater classes. My little Aerosmith sister, you rock. It is now my pleasure to introduce Mrs. Shannon Hughes.
Good evening. When nominating someone for the Greyhound Gala, a teacher might consider a student who demonstrates great character, always gives 100%, and excels in class. They might choose someone who is a positive role model and makes other people want to do well, or someone who is always striving to improve and overcome obstacles along the way. The student I chose has all of these qualities and more. This student is in our band program and shows genuine dedication and enthusiasm towards music. She brings out the best in people around her and has become quite a leader in our bands. Although this person is involved in many activities, including every instrumental music ensemble we have to offer, she spends her free time in the band room practicing, working with other students, or discussing upcoming performances. Rather than having students for just a quarter, a semester, or a year, I'm one of the few teachers to have students for the entire time they're in middle school. I get to see them improve and grow through music, develop a passion and appreciation for the arts, and express themselves in ways that aren't possible in most other classes. For this, I consider myself lucky, especially when the students are as wonderful as Crystal Kim. And it is now my pleasure to introduce Mrs. Cassie Kalzik.
Basketball great Michael Jordan said, "Talent wins games, but teamwork and intelligence win championships." My Gala nominee has what it takes to be a future leader. He continually uses his character strengths of kindness and patience, combined with his intelligence to help his peers. It was an honor to see him in action during several stressful challenges when he skillfully mediated conflicts, creating a positive experience for all. This young man's maturity and positivity helped his robotics team win the Teamwork Award at the state championship. Due to his excellence of character, I have chosen Jared Colin as my Greyhound Gala nominee. It is now my pleasure to introduce Mrs. Pam Karch.
My Greyhound Gala recipient is a friendly and dedicated student here at Northern. This student is always eager to learn and a pleasure to have in class. He is that student that you can always count on to have his hand raised high, eagerly waiting to share his answer or thoughts with the class. I would like to thank him for all his hard work, effort, and enthusiasm in language arts class this year. With your enthusiasm and your many positive qualities, I am absolutely sure you will go far in whatever you decide to pursue. My 2016 Gala Award goes to Matthew Kaiser. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Ms. Alexandra Canuck to announce our next nominee.
Hi, everyone. I also have a split personality tonight. I am myself, and I am also Mr. Doug Daniels. So I'm going to pretend to be Doug first. Okay. His last name may be hard to pronounce. It may be hard to remember. Fortunately, this young man is a student who is difficult to forget. Teachers enjoy students who are self-motivated and have a desire to learn because of their inquisitive attitude towards studies. Mr. Daniels' nominee has that inner quality which will lead him to success in both the high school and in life. Another of his many qualities is his humble spirit, which includes the ability to find humor in situations and to share that view with his fellow classmates. It has been Mr. Daniels and my privilege to have had this young man in class and to select Ryan Cocolayo. I knew I was gonna do that. Cocolayo as his Greyhound Gala nominee. I'm so sorry, Ryan. I've been practicing it all day. Something's rubbed off. Okay. I'm back. So for my Greyhound Gala nominee, I thought about this for a really long time. There's a lot of students that we have this year that are really wonderful students. And that, again, goes out to all of the parents out in the audience, and I appreciate you all. Commitment, determination, and enthusiasm are just a few words that come to mind when I think about my nominee. This student struggled in the beginning of my tough algebra course, but persevered through with a positive attitude and an outstanding effort, always asking for help when it was needed. Her upbeat attitude is infectious to all those around her and has brought excitement to our class this year. I appreciate this student's hard work and her encouraging nature. I know that it will bring her much success in life. I look forward to watching her grow in the following years in high school and in the Northern Soccer program. Thank you for being a bright spot in my day, Ava Wisnowski.
Thank you.
opportunity to announce our next nominee.
Well, hello, Northern Burlington. It's good to see everybody tonight. We're halfway there. Elle is halfway there. You can see right in the middle, Lafferty's here, halfway over. You've been a great audience so far. I know it's a lot of clapping, and keep it coming, because you got great kids up here. All kidding aside, though. Fortuna favet fortibus. No, I'm not sick, it's Latin. A Latin phrase that roughly translates to fortune favors the bold, or the strong. This is an ancient motto that my ancestors held as their mantra. To be bold is to ask the hard questions, and to dare to find the answers. The bold shape their own destiny, and the strong forge their own paths to success. My nominee embodies these qualities, but with something more. My nominee is creative, confident, and most importantly, kind. It is a true pleasure to have this student in my class each and every day. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to name Isabel Connor as my Greyhound Gala nominee. Isabel.
Of course. Congratulations. You're a great student.
And it is now my pleasure to introduce Mrs. Michelle Lapari. Ladies and gentlemen, Michelle Lapari.
I'm very honored tonight to present my Greyhound Gala nominee. Her realization that life's changes can have positive effects on our lives is a testament to her character. I believe that it is our approach to these daily challenges that impacts our lives and helps us to develop who we become. With a skill set that is still increasing, I can't imagine the places she'll go. With that being said, for the thoughtful and mature decisions that she has made throughout the year, and the logic and reasoning she applies to life, I'm very proud to present my 2016 Greyhound Gala nominee, Chelsea Messer. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Mrs. Sarah Long to announce our next nominee.
Good evening. This evening I will also be two people. I will also be doing Miss Marchetti, so I will do her first. I have to say both of the people that are selected tonight for myself and also Mrs. Marchetti, huge discussion over them. They're wonderful kids, so a couple of us had to argue, but nonetheless, Miss Marchetti's. Learning is a journey and knowledge arrives after much effort is put forth. Good learners are never satisfied with how much they know about anything. They pursue understanding diligently and they never run out of questions. My nominee is curious and persistent in her pursuit of learning. She carries on even when something isn't coming easily to her, knowing full well that she will succeed. She is always willing to put in the time to endure the repetition of math and ask the questions that help guide her understanding. The hard work always pays off for my nominee, and I am so privileged to share in the smile that occurs when the pieces finally all fit together. Thank you, Corlin Almeida, for being a good learner, an outstanding student, and a diligent young lady. I will present my nominee. One day in class, my Greyhound Gala nominee was singing a tune that sounded familiar. A debate was held regarding the tune, and the majority of the class thought it was from the movie Cinderella.
However, my student was insistent that it was from a short film about volcanoes. Intrigued, I searched the film, and sure enough, there it was, lava. The following are some of the lyrics that I selected that directly reflect my influence my nominee had on me. But little did he know that living in the sea below, another volcano was listening to his song. And from his lava came the song of hope that he sang out loud every day for years and years. I have a dream I hope will come true. Every day she heard his tune. Her lava grew and grew because she believed in his song. Ethan Marquette, your song has inspired me day in and day out, and has helped me to grow as an educator. Not only are you a talented person who's warm-hearted and kind, you have the ability to brighten a room with your smile. Your dance moves are impeccable, and Mr. Bean has a fierce competitor. Thank you for helping me to sing my own song of hope. There's no doubt in my mind your dreams will come true. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Ms. Colleen Martin to announce our next nominee.
I learned very quickly upon meeting my gala nominee in September of 2014 that she had no limits. She holds herself to the highest expectations and settles for nothing less than perfect, almost to a fault. So much so that when I asked her to literally fly this year, she gave it a serious attempt. Throughout our 2 years together, I've come to rely on her to help classmates and lead by example. I don't know what I'll do next year without my gala nominee, Maya Mutramalingam. And it is now my pleasure to introduce Ms. Barbara McFarland to announce our next nominee.
Good evening. Who would think I would need a mic? True success is not about things or status, but is about the kind of person you are and the positive impact you have on the world. My Greyhound Gala nominee possesses strength of character. He is dependable, honest, responsible, and compassionate. These are signs of a highly successful person, one who has a bright future ahead, one whose character is constant, even when he thinks no one is looking. My nominee knows there is still much to learn, but possesses the drive and optimism to take on the challenge. With such potential, Indy Nava will not only see his dreams come true, but will surely make his mark on this world. Congratulations. And now it is my honor to present Dr. Robin McLean to introduce our next nominee.
Andrew Carnegie once said, "No man will make a great leader who wants to do it all himself or get all the credit for doing it." My Greyhound Gala recipient is a great leader. I have seen her strive to get others to share ideas and work together, plan and design FFA displays and floral arrangements, and give praise to others. She seeks not only to achieve the best from herself and continually grow, but also supports and cheers the efforts of others. In the past 2 years, I have seen her self-confidence blossom and her leadership attributes shine. It is my pleasure to recognize my Greyhound Gala recipient, a quiet leader, Renee Harris. Our next Greyhound Gala presenter this evening is Ms. Sarah Menser.
Author Anthony D. Angelo said, "Wherever you go, no matter what the weather, always bring your own sunshine." My nominee this evening truly brings sunshine with her wherever she goes. You are strong, courageous, and an intelligent young woman. You inspire others to remain positive, even in the most challenging of times. Tori Morrell, thank you for always sharing your sunshine. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Ms. Alyssa Reppert to announce our next nominee. Let's go low enough for me. Okay. All right, so I get to be 3 people tonight, so I hope you like all of us. Oh, they paper clipped us together. Okay, first I'm going to be Miss Kelly Rhodes, so I'll be reading for her. Having the opportunity to teach both 7th and 8th grade, I am able to watch students grow and mature, not only academically, but into young adults. When I first start any new year, I always ask my students, who in this class honestly likes math? The student told me that math was not his favorite subject, and this did not change. However, he continuously would complete all of his work, volunteer in class, and maintain an excellent grade. This student is very well-rounded, not only succeeding academically, but also participating in multiple activities after school. This student was never too busy to ask others how their sports team did, help a fellow classmate out as they were struggling, or bring me in a special card congratulating me on getting married. Kelly Rhodes, not me. Tyler Neville, thanks for being the student I knew I could always call on. Okay, now imagine me in athletic pants and a hat, because I'm going to be Miss Katie Ritter. My Greyhound Gala nominee is a one-of-a-kind, well-rounded student athlete. She is an excellent student in the classroom and a fierce, competitive athlete on the field. I've had the honor of seeing her in both lights as her teacher and coach. This student athlete is perhaps the most respectful, coachable, well-mannered young adult I've had the pleasure of working with. I will truly miss her next year on the basketball court and lacrosse field, as she is an asset to any sport she plays. She will definitely make a positive impact in the high school and will be a force to be reckoned with. Jessica Fell, I wish you nothing but the best in your future endeavors and know you will succeed at the highest heights. now myself again. So I am nominating one of the most dedicated and loyal students I've known. From 7th to 8th grade, I've had the privilege of watching this student set personal goals and achieve them over and over again, not only in the classroom, but on the lacrosse field as well. She perseveres through any challenge, but without ever losing her positive attitude. She can make those around her laugh uncontrollably, or shake in fear if we are doing ground ball wars. Sorry, I had to throw in a little inside joke there. She continuously motivates her teammates and me to be better, and has fun while we're at it. Her last name may be White, but she has shown me the silver lining in each day. And bringing brownies to yesterday's game didn't hurt your case either. I am proud to announce Katie White as my gala nominee. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Ms. Parvane Soulon to announce our next nominee.
Good evening. It really is great to see some of the 8th graders that they were previously our 7th graders to receive the awards. They're very well deserved. Every year, we hope to teach our students how to become more organized, how to become confident and dare to be wrong. We hope to teach them how to manage their time and how to adjust and cope with challenges and difficulties of middle school. We hope they learn how to claim who they are, to help themselves, and to get up and move forward when they fall. We hope that they take the life lessons they learn further into their future and become happy and self-sufficient individuals. Throughout this year, my Greyhound Gala recipient has demonstrated a remarkable ability to self-discipline. Her tenacious hard work and dedication has impressed many of her teachers. When tasks become challenging, she shows patience and opens her mind to suggestions. She never kept a letter, stops trying, and will not give up. She is not hesitant to ask questions and is always willing to learn. I am extremely proud of her as she has grown to a mature and confident young lady who is not afraid of being wrong. I'm certain that her determination and strong skills will help her succeed in the future. Her smile that lights up the room cannot hurt either. It is my privilege to present my Greyhound Gala Award to Miss Smiley George. Congratulations, Miley. I wish you happiness, a bright future. Keep calm and smile on. It's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Thomas Roniak to give the next recipient award.
The font's not that small, everybody. It was difficult for me to pick just one Greyhound nominee this year, considering the Wizards team was full of highly qualified candidates. A bunch of you are here, a bunch of them are not here, but one student kind of stood out above all the rest to me. I chose my Greyhound Gala nominee for several reasons. Most notably, I picked this person because of the attitude he brings to the classroom every day. He comes in with a smile on his face and a positive demeanor that translates to every other student in the room. Since September, he has told me to have a nice day at the end of every class, which is a consideration that most 7th grade students do not take. Overall, this student's selflessness and consideration of others is something that I admire and respect, which is why I chose Cale Devereaux for my Greyhound Gala Award. And it's now my pleasure to introduce Miss Jennifer Welk to announce our next nominee.
Hello. I've been told to keep my nominee's identity a secret until the end of the speech, but I have to come right out with it. My nominee is Supergirl. Her disguise is an unassuming freckle-faced smile, but don't let it fool you, for her powers are astonishing. Supergirl is impervious to peer pressure. She is 100% her own person, and in every possible way, she rises above middle school drama and competition. She has a talent for heroic acts of kindness. She's known to write thank you cards to her teachers, help a stranger in need push a shopping cart, offer her own change to a sweet kid who came up short on a purchase in the school store, and stay behind when the bell rings out of respect for her peers. She must also have the ability to slow down time, because she finds a way to earn top grades while playing sports, interning at the Hound Pound, acting in the play, teaching herself the ukulele, and having fun with her family in her downtime. It seems this is all in a day's work for Supergirl. Without even trying, she presents a positive example of maturity, devotion, and grace. Her sharp mind and big heart make her a hero to many. Supergirl is more commonly known as Megan Pastino. Sadly, she will be moving out of state at the end of the school year, and I feel sad for those of you who will not get to know her, but wherever she goes, she will continue her heroic acts and achievements in the future. And it's now my pleasure to introduce Miss Lauren Wohler.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for coming. So every teacher has their why I became a teacher story. Mine directly correlates with the reason why I picked my gala winner. I have a younger brother, and in school, he was hilarious, smart, and athletic. He had a presence in the classroom, and teachers recognized quickly that we were very similar in all the best ways, but never compared us to each other because they recognized the talents in us both. That being said, there are times that you look at your roster and you just exclaim, yes, because the sibling that you had before them, Haley, left such a lasting impression on you as their teacher. And it's what happens over the course of that year that keeps the exclamation in your head, a dab in your arms, and a song in your heart. I became a teacher knowing that there were families like mine, and have had the pleasure of teaching many. I'm lucky to have this student remind me of my younger brother on a daily basis. With his fashionable flair, fancy hair, and comic relief, knowing when there's time for work and time to joke around makes him easily likable. From sneezes to self-congratulations, his arms are always in the air, giving dabs to himself and those around him. So, as our inside joke, if you like just please give a dab of congratulations to my Greyhound Gala winner, Jacob Hednick.
You knew. Oh, I don't want to mess it up. Yeah, don't mess it up. Don't mess it up. Here you go, buddy. Look at that! He didn't even do it. There it is. And now it is my pleasure to finally introduce Mrs. Allison Durilli with our final Gala Award winner.
By process of elimination, I'm sure that my nominee can not be surprised, but it's okay. I'll pretend. Okay, so a smile that is contagious and a positive outlook on everything with life. It's hard to believe that there has been some hardships in her life with the energetic and positive attitude I've gotten from the second she walked into my cheerleading tryouts. I'm grateful to have her in my last period of the day. She gets my jokes. I mean, they're really funny. She loves to laugh along with my corniness, and quite frankly, she's taught me a little bit about life. Caitlin's, get up here, you troublemaker. I have a Gala Award for you. You have earned this. It's now my pleasure. Oh wait, there's nobody else. Oh wait, yeah, there is. Dr. Kearns would like to say something now. Thank you.
Thank you for that introduction, Mrs. Cirilli. It's incredible. Again, congratulations to all our nominees. I heard a couple times they were mention of parents, grandparents, guardians, family members, and those of you in the audience, and we wouldn't have these great students without you. So thank you very much for letting us borrow your kids every day, and thank you for doing such a wonderful job. Round of applause.